What's going on, everybody? This is MDENT313, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Listen, I was so excited about that Baltimore Ravens Kansas City Chiefs game. As you know, I picked the Baltimore Ravens to win the game. That didn't happen, but they had plenty of opportunities to win the game. Lamar Jackson came up short. I root for Lamar Jackson all the time because I think he get a lot of unwarranted and unfair criticism, but last night Lamar, he played his heart out, but he dropped the ball. He missed Zay Flowers a few times. Zay Flowers was wide open. He didn't make the right read. He didn't make the right adjustment. He didn't make the right pass. He overthrew Zay Flowers wide open in the end zone. He was wide open, just missed opportunity. They're giving Lamar Jackson more command and control of the offense. So I believe he audibled, and I believe this was the first quarter, might have been early in the second quarter, where he audibled and he opted to check out of a run and go for a play action where it was snuffed out and he was sacked and he ultimately fumbled. And that cost them dearly. When you look at the misutilization of Derrick Henry, and this is not Lamar Jackson, this is on John Harbaugh and whoever the offensive coordinator is. Listen, I keep telling people this, right? And I know this as a boxing fan. Remember I told you the jab is the most important punch in boxing. You could do so many things off the jab. You can hook off the jab. You can counter off the jab. You can counter over the top of somebody's jab. You can use the jab as a range finder. You could use the jab as a power punch. If you're a power puncher, you could set up your combinations off the jab. You can use the jab as a defense, to be honest with you. That's what the running game is to football. The running game is your jab. I don't care how good your quarterback is. How do I know this? Peyton Manning is my favorite quarterback of all time. Always have been, always will be. I don't care how many dynamite receivers you got around you. Your ability to run the ball, control the clock, is pretty much your jab. Even if you're not running the ball effectively, like even if you're not getting a lot of yards, that's you still running the ball and not abandoning the run keeps that defense off balance. Sometimes a lot of these coordinators are so uncreative, it's ridiculous. Sometimes you should just run the ball 3 straight times, even if it result in a 3 and out. You should switch it up. Sometimes you should run twice on first and second, pass on third. Sometimes you run pass twice on first and second, and you run on third. But your run game is what allows for the passing game to be so much more effective. One of the problems with Baltimore is Lamar or bust. Not that it have to be, but because that's how they choose to play the game. So now that when defenses are playing Baltimore, they're not even really gearing up to stop the running back. They gearing up to stop Lamar Jackson from running. The teams have figured out if you can control Lamar Jackson, a lot of times he miss wide open receivers. And when I mean miss, I don't just mean throwing the ball and missing them. Yes, I'm talking about that too. But it'll be guys running wide open and he don't even see them, because he's so locked in on throwing it to who he want to throw it to. Plenty of times in that game, you have Mark Andrews going up the seam wide open. Had Mark Andrews on curls wide open. Had Zay Flowers across the middle wide open. Listen, one of the reasons Greg Roman was so successful as the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator was the running game. And when Baltimore had the best rushing attack, it wasn't just Lamar Jackson. They had solid running. They had a great running game. with good running backs. Now, don't get me wrong, the offensive line was also a problem yesterday. But the offensive line wasn't the sole reason they lost that game. Early in that game, Lamar Jackson, he got frustrated at his offensive lineman. I believe it was when the fumble situation happened. It's early second quarter, if I'm not mistaken. He over there yelling at the offensive line, and because he frustrated, he fumbled. Yeah, they let him in, but listen, it's going to happen sometimes. But it's second quarter, and he already frustrated, kicking and screaming and yelling. When a lot of plays, you just miss wide open receivers. And number two, your offensive coordinator let you down because y'all completely abandoned the running game. And I seen the frustration on Derrick Henry's face. And I think right around that second or third quarter, he realized, like, man, I made a serious mistake coming here. Because Lamar Jackson don't trust anybody but himself. Listen, if the Baltimore Ravens are to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs, you're going to have to utilize your running game and not with Lamar Jackson. He need to be fresh for the second half of games. You paid Derrick Henry a lot of money. You have to utilize him. Now, every once in a while, if Lamar Jackson going to throw and it's a running lane wide open, cool, take it. Kind of like how Russell Wilson used to do. They didn't really do a lot of design runs for Russell Wilson, but if a play broke down and he had to improvise, he would improvise. But you should not still be calling design runs for Lamar Jackson. I don't care what nobody say. And until y'all decide to run the ball, use the play action, and Lamar Jackson, Derek Lively got weapons. Derek Lively was phenomenal last night. Mark Andrews, he was open. Zay Flowers was open. Bateman, he missed Bateman on a couple open passes. He has weapons now. There's no excuses. Lamar Jackson got to tighten up. Lamar Jackson is the reason the Baltimore Ravens lost that game. I'm giving 50% of the blame to Lamar Jackson, 50% of the blame to the offensive coordinator for the lack of use of the running game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe.